Top 10 Most Beautiful Places in the World 2021. Towering limestone pillars and bitsy islets excelled by timber rise from the emerald waters of the Gulf of Tonkin. Designated a World Heritage Site in 1994, Halong Bay's scatter of islands, dotted with wind and swell-eroded grottos, is also a vision of ethereal beauty and, generally, northern Vietnam's #1 tourism.
Everyone wants to see the Colosseum, and it doesn't fail, especially if accompanied by tales of armored breeze fighters and empty lords. Further than any other monument, this iconic theater symbolizes the power and drama of ancient Rome, and still moment it's in stimulating sight. Inaugurated in 80 CE, the Siete Colosseum, also known as the Flavian Amphitheater, has survived in remarkably good shape. And it doesn't take a huge vault of the imagination to picture it in its pomp, with its acutely piled stages full of frenzied spectators as armored breeze fighters slug it out on the arena below. After 2,000 times, it's still Italy's top Rubbernic attraction, drawing further than 7 million guests a time. To avoid the crowds, visit in the early morning or late afterlife. Consider reserving tickets online, and make sure to get in the right entry line. The quickest are for those with pre-bought tickets or passes. Most people understand that the Amazon is Earth's largest rainforest, but also are 10 other data you should know about the Amazon, including 10 data about rainforests. The Amazon is the world's biggest rainforest, larger than the coming two largest rainforests, in the Congo Basin and Indonesia, combined. 86.9 million square kilometers. The Amazon Basin is roughly the size of the 48 conterminous United States, and covers some 40% of the South American landmass. The Amazon rainforest, which defined biogeographically includes the rainforest in the Guianas, which technically are outside the Amazon basin, covers 7.8-8.2 million square kilometers, of which just over 80% is forested. The Amazon River is by far the world's largest sluice by volume, carrying further than 5 times the volume of the Congo or 12 times that of the Mississippi. It drains an area nearly the size of the 48 conterminous United States and has over affluents, 17 of which are longer than 1,000 country miles. The Amazon River formerly flowed westward rather of eastward as it does moment. The rise of the Andes caused it to flux into the Atlantic Ocean. The Amazon is estimated to have tree species and 390 billion individual trees. Conglomerations of Giza, Arabic Aramat al-Giza, Giza also spelled Giza, 3/4th dynasty, c. 2575, c.2465 BCE, conglomerations erected on a rocky table on the west bank of the Nile River near Al-Giza in northern Egypt. In ancient times they were included among the 7 prodigies of the world. The ancient remains of the Memphis area, including the conglomerations of Giza, Saqqara, Dashur, Abu Rawash, and Abu Sir, were inclusively designated a UNESCO World Heritage Point in 1979. The designations of the conglomerations, Khufu, Kafur, and Menkaure, correspond to the lords for whom they were erected. The northernmost and oldest aggregate of the group was erected for Khufu, the alternate king of the 4th dynasty. Called the Great Aggregate, It's the largest of the three, the length of each side at the base comprising 755.75 bases, and its original height being 481.4 bases. The middle aggregate was erected for Kafur, the fourth of the 8 lords of the 4th dynasty. The structure measures 707.75 bases on each side, and was firstly 471 bases high. The southernmost and last aggregate to be erected was that of Menkaure, the 5th king of the 4th dynasty. Each side measures 356.5 bases, and the structure's completed height was 218 bases. All three conglomerations were despoiled both internally and externally in ancient and medieval times. Therefore, the grave goods firstly deposited in the burial chambers are missing, and the conglomerations no longer reach their original heights, because they've been nearly entirely stripped of their external coverings of smooth white limestone. The great aggregate, for illustration, is now only 451.4 bases high. That of Kafur retains the external limestone containing only at its topmost portion. Constructed near each aggregate was a mortuary tabernacle, which was linked via a leaning causeway to a veiled tabernacle on the edge of the Nile lowland. Also were subsidiary conglomerations used for the burials of other members of the royal family. Taj Mahal, also spelled Taj Mahal, tomb complex in Agra, Western Uttar Pradesh state, northern India. The Taj Mahal was erected by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan to perpetuate his woman Mumtaz Mahal, who failed in parturition in 1631. Having been the emperor's thick companion since their marriage in 1612. India's most notorious and extensively honored structure, it's positioned in the eastern part of the megacity on the southern bank of the Yamuna River. Agra Fort, also on the right bank of the Yamuna, is about 1 far west of the Taj Mahal. In its harmonious proportions and its fluid objectification of ornamental rudiments, the Taj Mahal is distinguished as the finest illustration of Mughal armature, a mix of Indian, Persian, and Islamic styles. Other lodestones include binary synagogue structures, lovely auditoriums, and a gallery. One of the most beautiful structural compositions in the world, the Taj Mahal is also one of the world's most iconic monuments, visited by millions of excursionists each time. The complex was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Point in 1983.